And the same thing with a red candle. That candle in a 5-minute interval, red candle, that candle could have started at $10. It could have went up to $12. It could have went up to $13. It could have went down to $11.50. It could have went up to $15 and tanked all the way down to $9.70. But guess what? That closing price of $9.70 was lower than that open price of $10. That's what made it a red candle, because the closing price was less than the opening price. That's it. That's another reason why red don't mean sell. Don't mean sell, don't mean sell, don't mean sell. Because it started off at $10, but and you thought it was going up, and then boom, it went down out of nowhere. It looked like it was going up, and then it went down. You got to make sure that candle ends, that whole time frame, whatever that interval is, whatever that amount of time that candle represents. If it's a 5-minute candle, let that whole 5 minutes go by so you can see what that interval, what shows you. That's all the candle is information. Just information. It's not for you to make a judgment on what to do. Am I going to buy or sell right now from one specific candle? You need multiple candles to tell a story. Remember that. Candles don't tell you the exact journey. Now, this one right here I'm about to give you is sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. So your open price, $10. Your high price was $12. Low price, $9, and it closed at $11. Looking at that, the high price was $12. It opened at $10. It closed at $11. And the lowest price was $9. Looking at these numbers, after it opened at $10, where did it go next? Can you tell me that? After it opened at $10, which number came next? You can't tell me, can you? Because it could have opened at $10 and then dropped down to $9, went up to $12, and then closed at $11. Or it could have opened at $10, went up to $12, dropped all the way down to $9, and then closed at $11. One candle does not tell the journey of that stock. You can't tell the exact journey of that stock. All it tells you is where it opened, what price it closed at, how high was the price during that time interval, how low did the price get during that time interval. That's it. That's why I say it's only information. All right? It only gives you a summary. Don't give you the exact journey. It won't give you the exact journey. It won't give you from price point to price point to price point to price point, or price point to price point to price point. But it don't give you the exact journey. It just gives you a summary. When did at what price did it open? At what price did it close? What was the highest price? And what was the lowest price? That's it. That's all you need for the candle. That's it. All right. Remember, I said a candle is not finished until the period ends. All right. So let's say you watching a 5-minute candle. You watching a 5-minute candle. It starts at green, right? Which means at whatever time you looking at it, even if it ain't finished, that price that closed at, or that right when you looking at it ends, even though it ain't end yet, it's still higher than when it first opened. So if I'm looking at a 5-minute candle and it opened at 9:30, and the time that I'm looking at it is 9:32, and 9:32 is $12, but it opened at $10. that would be a green candle right there, because at 9:32 is when I'm looking at it. It's higher than when it opened at 9:30, because $12 is more than $10. It could be showing green right then and there, right? But then guess what? You still got 3 more minutes. Again, I told you the stock market is moving fast. People are buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, and prices are changing quickly. So if you keep looking, the price keep changing. That 5-minute interval is not over. So yeah, it looked like it's green now, but guess what? Then it could tank all the way down to $9.70, and now you red. It could keep tanking. It could keep tanking until it gets to 9:35. You don't know until that whole interval finishes. A candle is not finished until the period ends. Remember that. All right? Wait for the candle to close. If you ever hear somebody tell you wait for the candle to close, hush. Let that time frame go. Let it end. Let the period end before you start making assumptions. Okay? All right. Now, big body versus small body. That's a thing. All right, so suppose candle A opens at $10 and it closes at $10.02. That's just a tiny difference. That body is just a 2-cent difference. That's a small body. But then now candle B opened at $10 and it closed at $11. That's a large, that's a big body, that, because it's larger than that 2 cent. That's the difference between a small body and a big body. All right? And that's important because eventually candle size can help you understand things like momentum and volatility. Or volatility. Volatile, y'all. I can't say that dang word. But we ain't got there yet anyways. By that time, I'm going to go on Google and see how you say that word. I got a list. I can't say that word. Okay, but anyways. So, big body equals a bigger difference between the open and the close price, and a small body is a smaller difference between open and close. That's all you need to know. All right. Now, there is a longer wick. Okay, so what do long wicks mean? We're going to be careful with this one. So all along wick tells us is the price traveled into that area, but it didn't finish there. So if I opened at $10 and my highest was, it got all the way up to $15, that's a long wick because it traveled up into that area, but then my closing price was $10.70. It opened at $10, went all the way up to $15, but then it closed at $10.70. It traveled all the way up to that $15. That's a long wick. But it didn't stay there. It didn't end there. Didn't finish there. Okay? That's still information though. We're going to learn later how traders interpret wick in context. Not right now though. But just know that a long upper wick does not mean always sell. We're gonna get away from that, okay? That don't mean always sell. Like, oh my God, it went up to $15. No. Remember, I told you that candle only represents that specific time frame. That's it, that's all.